Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian own, nothing control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. Always appreciate it. For the new listeners, just feel free to subscribe as well. Make sure you have your notifications on so you can actually get the notifications of when we actually go live. You can ask questions in the chat, so feel free to put your notifications on when you're listening to the episode. Definitely get subscribers actually every day, so always appreciate everybody for continuously subscribing, but as well everybody being notified when the actual episode comes on as well, because we do pop-up episodes as well, not just the traditional Tuesday episodes that we do at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. This is the Vault, episode 344. Hashtag I know you know you know. I don't know business in quotes. Once again, this is the Vault, episode 344. Hashtag I know you know you know. In quotes. I don't know business. So this episode is something that really is to actually enlighten quite a few trustees. Trustees ask really good questions going through the training program, but we always want to do episodes for the trustees because they're going to ask more and more questions. While we get a lot of trustees that come to the program that may be first generation wealth and have not been trained in business, so they say I don't know business. A lot of times people will say, well, I wasn't trained in the business, I wasn't born into business, my family were employees, things of that nature. Well, there might be a disadvantage. There's a disadvantage for lack of knowing the system that people are operating with and in. People are operating within a system of business. So when people say I don't know business, it means that they don't know the system that they're in. Life is a business, but we're going to stay focused on business today in this particular episode. A lot of times people come to the vault, they say, I don't know business. I know you know you know. And when we establish that individuals or families don't know business, we always start out with the basic premise of what? It's a contract. Life is a contract. One of the most powerful things in the universe is a contract. It's verbal. It could be written on paper. And so when we get to this concept of, oh, we're in contract, there are things that can put you in breach of contract. But I know you know, you know. So in quotes, I don't know business. And that's the issue is when you run into people that use these terms, I don't know business. Uh, People are transitioning from the employee sector to the entrepreneur sector. You see people that are really trying to get their companies over a six figure to, $250,000 to $1 million a year business plus revenue, whether that's gross or net. But what's really going on? I don't know business and I'm building a business. I don't know business, but I'm making money. This is what's said to the vault. This is what's said. I don't know business, but I'm making money. This is what's said. So if I don't know business and I'm making money, does that mean that we would need to go get an education? Right. I don't know business means you don't have the education. That's what you're missing. You're not missing the grit. You're not missing the thunder. You're not missing the heart. You're not missing the passion. You're not missing it in the ingenuity. You're not missing the intuitiveness. You're missing the education. I don't know business. You got to go get the formal education then. You got to pay for it. Oh, you think it's going to be free? Oh, I know some entrepreneurs, they didn't go to school. What? I don't know business says you have to. The ones that didn't go knew what they were doing. Do you really have to leave it up to a happenstance? Do you have to leave it up to well, they winged it? When you go talk to the greats, they all tell you they had to learn. The education was the most expensive thing, but people want to cheat the systems. They want to cheat the business system. How can you cheat the business system? See what it's called? A business system. Your franchises are business systems. How do we know business? Because it's learnable, teachable, duplicatable. That's a business system. I don't know business though, Trust Christian in the Vault. I don't know business. Well, you got to know that it starts with a system of process and procedures. Okay, so the system has a process, it has a code of ethics, it has procedures. If we're sitting at a table in a contract, a square, and you breach the contract, you can't say you don't know business. Business is done through a contract. First, I don't know business though. So I didn't know that the breach of contract is a mess up in business. It is. I don't know business, Trust Christian. I went to the lawyers and the accountants. Some of them tried to suggest I get an operating agreement. They didn't tell me I needed it for the LLC. I don't know business, Trust Christian. I didn't know I needed an operating agreement. I've been in business for over 5 years. I've been in business for over 10 years. Corporations. Do you have corporate bylaws? No, we just decided to turn it into an escort. But you still don't have substantiating documents for the entity to be an entity other than the EIN. So people come to the vault and they say, well, I got a trust because I got an EIN number, right? No, because you don't know business. Then you have an EIN, but you don't have an entity. The actual documentation, the papers, the substantiation. I don't know business. Because people are listening to what people consider gurus over the internet. When you do fact check, when you do business, it's through contracts. You got to have that. The operating agreement, the corporate bylaws, whatever it is. I don't know business. That's why I'm not taking advantage of fringe benefits, Trust Christian in the Vault. I'm not taking advantage of what? The fringe benefits. I didn't know I needed to have that written on paper. I don't want to deal with that system because I don't know business. You don't deal with business systems because I don't know business. That's why. I know you know. You know. I don't know business. Appreciate Mississippi for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate Mississippi for tuning in live, listening to replay. Feel free to like and subscribe to the actual video so you can get the pop-up notifications for when we go live. This episode is I know you know, you know. I don't know business. So what happens when you breach contracts? Can you amend the document? Can you amend it? Can you change it at any moment? Can you amend it? I don't know business. I didn't know I could amend it. I didn't know I could change things at spur of the hand. I didn't know I could change classifications. I didn't know I could do. I didn't know I could update the business records at any day because it's important to update when changes are made. When changes are even almost being thought of being made. It's okay to have what's called a meeting of consideration, but I don't know business. I don't know business. So I don't know how valuable relationships are in business. I don't know business. I didn't know that relationships in business are different than personal relationships. Personal relationships are not the same as business relationships. They're actually a different type of relationship. But I don't know business. So why would I know this, Trust Christian Evolve? I went to public school. My teachers weren't business owners. My parents may have not been business owners, or they didn't teach me business. I don't know business. Guess what, Trust Christian Evolve? I actually got a business degree from a accredited college in the United States. I don't own a business because guess what? I don't know business. I'm an employee. I don't know business because I don't know how to build a business system. A business system involves relationships with people. So who are you going to associate with? The ones that are barely making it or the successful ones? Well, I don't know business. I'm just going to associate with anybody that's in business. And then you sit around people that will say, oh, I have a company that does this. Oh, I have this and does that. But you can't even find any work that they produce. Because I don't know business. This is a excuse. People say I don't know business. It's something that people can read and learn. Assimilate information. People say, oh, well, can I read it in a book? Can I learn how to be a business entrepreneur? Learn how business works by reading just a book? That's part of it. That's the beginning. Is acquiring the knowledge to know who to deal with, to know what relationships to get, to rub elbows with the right people to continue to move yourself forward or business forward. Are decisions going to be easy? No. No one said business was emotional. This is not personal. Business is business. It's very non-emotional. You've seen people, come out in the public and say, oh, we need to put more empathy in business. We need to put more emotion in business. Ladies and gentlemen, the bottom line in business is black and white. And you can rest assured that the numbers are what keep you afloat or make you go under. So emotions have a play in it. But the black and white is what matters the most. The numbers on the paper. But people want to interject their feelings in business. I don't know business. That's why. Because they want to interject emotions in business. Oh, well, you have to have some level of EQ, have some emotional intelligence in business, Trust Christian and Evolve. You got to have emotional intelligence. Communication skills. Being able to read people. Being able to hold your poker face in business. You don't think a poker face is valuable in business, ladies? Holding your poker face. You think wearing your emotions on your sleeve, ladies, is how you gonna get business done by wearing your emotions on your sleeve in business? You think crying in a business meeting is gonna get you a business deal done, ladies? You think you can cry in a business deal? I don't know business. You think you gonna cry to get some money in a business deal at a bank, ladies? That's not how it works. I don't know business. That's why somebody might think that you gotta cry. You gotta use your emotions. It's misguided information. Oh, have your emotions in business. Well, what do you have, Trust Christian? Are you not? What are you saying? You don't have your emotions involved? Guess what? There is an emotion involved. It's called passion. Passion is an emotion. You're supposed to have passion. Do you have enthusiasm? That belongs in business. You got to have enthusiasm. That's an emotion. I don't know business. So I want to put these emotions of guilt, fear in business. There's no place for guilt in business. There's no place for fear in business. When can fear serve you in business? Fear is not in business because wealth thinks in abundance. So there's no lack. So there's no fear. There's opportunity. People say, I don't know business. Why get in business and let there be a max on the income, let alone the output? Because I don't know business. What's more important, the money or the relationships? The money. No, the relationships. That's what has equitable value. You build equity in people. You build equity in money. You build equity in people, and you build equity in money. You build equity. It's an exchange of value. But I don't know business. So I may think somebody's trying to scam me. I don't know business. Because I don't do business with integrity. I think other people aren't doing business with integrity. Because I don't know business. That's why. That's why people move like that. They move in fear. I know you know you know. I don't know business. Well, can I read it in a book and I'm going to get it? That's the way it's going to happen. I'm going to read it in a book and I'm going to get it. Right? There's a thing called theory. You can read it in a book. That's the theory. The practical application is actually having a poker face and calling people's bluff right in front of their face. Right in front of their face, you called their bluff. That's business. Well, I haven't been trained that way. So I don't know that. So I don't know business. Right? Well, if you don't know business, it's going to involve an investment. Because in business, there's investing. In personal, it's spending. In business, it's an investment. In personal, it's spending. In business, it's an expenditure. It's an investment. The personal, it's spending. So it seems as though things are business, not personal, because it's business that people are managing. Their lives, they're managing a business. They're managing it. But I don't know business. And so therein lies the challenge that some of the listeners of the Vault and people in general that you run into on a daily basis, a weekly basis. So many people don't know business. They don't know. If you're an entrepreneur, how can you expect an employee to understand your position? If you're an entrepreneur, how can you expect an employee to relate to your emotional intelligence? How can you expect them to relate to your everyday woes and struggles? So as an entrepreneur, your people skills, your skills have to be a lot sharper and a lot higher. Why? Because you are dealing with people that may work for you and things of that nature. So when people work for you, you have to be able to communicate with them, the ups, the downs. You have to be able to hold your poker face when you're communicating with them, because you have to let them know that, hey, no matter what's going to happen, I'm going to make sure that you have a job. I'm going to make sure that I have something in place for you to come in here and feed your family with. There's a different level of thought process, specifically in entrepreneurship, specifically in entrepreneurship, the ones that are actually hiring employees. When you're hiring employees, you can't use the excuse anymore that you don't know business. There are things that, even if you're an entrepreneur, it has to be a ferociousness for as much money as you make. There should be enough ferociousness and tenacity in you educating yourself as an entrepreneur. Bottom line, period. And that involves the investment in your education and the relationships. Period. It's an investment. That's what it comes down to for sure. It's an investment. It's not spending. But when you're thinking wrong, I know you know you know. I don't know business. That's what's going to be stated. And in turn, we see that many entrepreneurs, this is why they say 90% of the businesses fail within the first 5 years. That's why they say that. That's why these statistics come out. That's why, oh, everybody says, I'm going to beat the odds. I'm going to beat the odds. How are you going to beat the odds if you're saying things like, I don't know business? You're in business, so you have to know it. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. If you're in business, you have to know it. That's how this works. When you're investing and all of that stuff, that's business. You have to know it. There's no more excuses. Oh, people be like, oh, I'm investing in crypto. I'm investing in this. I'm investing in that. You're investing in this. You're investing in that. You're building this. You're building that. But I don't know business. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. Feel free to reach out, Christian@trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian@trustchristian.com. For consultations, we work with people all the time that come over and ask questions about those different things. And we definitely want to, just welcome people as we always do. The trustee training, we definitely are rolling over trustee training right now with some new trustees. We got another workshop that we're planning. So just look forward to work with all the trustees that continue to enroll. But these are topics that we talk about in the trustee training when people say, uh, these are the topics that we talk about in trustee training, uh, and things of that nature, because so many people do make that transition and they say, oh, I don't know, making a transition and things of that nature, and they're like, well, can we just read it in a book? It may not always be in a book. It is coming. It's going to come from having a mentor. It's going to come from having somebody from where you want to be in life. That's what it comes down to. Somebody typed into the chat, how can I make money with the trust? There's a million ways to make $1 million. That's the answer to that. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to the replay. Christian@trustchristian.com is the email. Christian@trustchristian.com is the email. Look forward to hearing from you all at the email, Christian@trustchristian.com. Peace.